It's Trevor Hook from the KBIA Newsroom, and it's time for Missouri on Mike, stories from Missouri in its 200th year. Ferguson, Missouri made national headlines in 2014 for the shooting of Michael Brown and subsequent protests. But Ferguson has a long, complicated history with race. According to the ACLU, the Ferguson-Florissant School District was originally created by a federal order in the face of resistance to school desegregation in St. Louis City in the 1970s, roughly 2 decades after the landmark Brown v. Board of Education. Many Black Americans moved from St. Louis City to the then predominantly white suburb in search of better living conditions. Many white occupants then fled farther west, in yet another example of what's been termed white flight. Barbie Skinner grew up in the Ferguson-Florissant area decades ago and gave us a glimpse of the city's history of racism in this episode of Missouri on Mike.
We went to Ferguson-Florissant school districts, and like I said, at that time, it was, middle-class, white, suburban, little ranch-style houses, and most of the kids in my classes, their dads worked at McDonnell Douglas. My parents were English professors, and that was unusual. When we were growing up, I think I was going on the bus to junior high over at Florissant Junior High School. And on the bus, and my sister and I were waiting for the bus, we went down to the bus stop, and it just, right across from our street is one Black family moved into the neighborhood. And it's this white neighborhood. And we went to the bus stop, and there were 3 crosses, one great big cross and 2 little crosses that were burned. They were charred because people had put up big crosses in their yard and burned it the night before just to scare these new people to the neighborhood. We couldn't believe it. We're just, how awful that someone would be so unwelcome when we were excited that somebody new was in the neighborhood. And how awful. And now the neighborhood has changed. McDonnell Douglas kind of closed down, and it's changed a lot because Ferguson-Florissant, now as Ferguson with all the issues that they have. And I guess people, they just did this white flight thing, and it's very, very different, and it's really incredibly sad. Yeah, it's just like, what the hell, goes on with people that they can't welcome somebody else who wants to just live in a nice place and in your neighborhood and not even bother to get to know them, but scare them instead.
That was Barbie Skinner sharing a story of racism that she witnessed as a child growing up in the Ferguson-Florissant area outside St. Louis. Missouri on Mike is an oral history and journalism project for Missouri's 200th year. Thanks to Becca Newton for producing this episode. Music was provided by the Burney Sisters. For more conversations like this, visit kbia.org. I'm Trevor Hook. Thanks for listening.